Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? One of the things I'm curious about, so many of the people that I've spoken with who are lucid dreamers, and I don't know if there's an association here, so I'm just throwing something at you to see what your thoughts are, is that they had traumatic childhood experiences. I also had traumatic childhood experiences. And what I'm wondering is, are in any capacity lucid dreams a defensive mechanism for survival so that you don't go like all the way into deep sleep so that you are aware of your surroundings while sleeping to stay safe?
So I'll say one just thing that I want to correct on the previous point, and then I'll answer about the trauma thing. First of all,
Please.
it's correct. Dreams are like movies. So while time in a dream is perfectly aligned with time in reality, it also allows you to cut and move forward. So, in movies, you can see the person when they're 5-year-old, cut, now they're 15, cut, now they're 20. Same thing happening in your dreams. So it's not that if you see a dream of you have to wait 17 years to become an adult in your dream. You can jump like this. So in that sense, dreams allow us to jump in time, but when you're walking in the street, it will be the same pace that you walk in the dream. So that's just a correction to what I said before. Time is time, but you can still cut the dream whatever way you want and speed up things or slow down things if you want. Okay. Now to your question about trauma. So first of all, we don't have any evidence that lucid dreams are more likely among people who have trauma. It's actually pretty random. Like people who can lucid dream, they're anywhere. I also will say that what we call deep sleep is actually not the dream state. Dream state is closest to being awake. In fact, other than the fact that your eyes are closed, if you look at the brain of someone when they're dreaming in general, not even lucid dreaming, when they're dreaming, the brain looks like it's awake. So the only way we know that they're dreaming is that they are still asleep, that their eyes are still closed. They have this thing called the rapid eye movement where the eyes move, and that's a signal that they're in the REM stage. But in a way, dreams look like awake state.
Mm.
And brain-wise, it's very much similar. Like all the systems in the brain think you're awake. They don't even know that you're in a simulation right now. They think you're in the real world. So what we call deep sleep is actually a different stage in night that happens just before your dream. It's stage 3. It's like the slowest part of the night. And that's that. So now to the trauma thing. While we have no evidence that trauma has to do with lucid dreaming or anything, what we do know is that people with trauma who became able to control their dreams, lucid dream, are able to navigate the trauma because two things happen. One is if you have a nightmare, you can just get out of it. So a lot of the studies we do are studies that take people with trauma and we just give them the power to lucid dream, and then in their dream, they can fix things. So imagine that you were in Afghanistan and the attack exploded and you have a trauma of this explosion again and again. We can now give you essentially the power to change the movie. We wake you up, so to speak, during the re-dreaming of the explosion in Afghanistan, but this time you save your friend, or this time you run out of a tank. Or so in a way, we give your brain a chance to create a different VR experience where things are better. So that's one use. The other one is, of course, we can just wake you up. We can just say, okay, if you're going through a nightmare and you just don't want to be there, instead of enduring it, we can make you get out of it. Just wake up. That's a control that you can have when you lucid dream. And the third thing, and that's the most loose one, but that's the one we explore the most right now, is because we know that during sleep, the brain essentially kind of reprogram itself. The brain changes things. We can essentially help your brain eliminate trauma entirely. We can shuffle memories or strengthen memories or weaken other experiences so that when you wake up, the nightmare is no longer as powerful, not just in a simulation. So not just can we use the lucid dream to make you have better dreams, we can also use them as a way to fix things so that when you wake up, the same nightmare looks less terrifying to you as an awake person.